Hi Cancer, welcome to your past life and soul contracts reading. I'm going to pull some numbers from the dice here to look at soulmates, karmics, loves, and soul lessons from past lifetime that you are working on this lifetime that follow you into this life journey. So let's get right in and roll the dice and see what comes out. Okay, so for karmic debts or karmic relationships, you have three. So, there definitely will be more karmic energy in your life, but there's going to be three main lessons, three main relationships, three main experiences that you have this life journey to balance karma that's attached to the past lifetime that will be coming through in this reading. And next we have three strong soulmates coming through. So three people that you shared a close life journey with last lifetime coming through into this life journey with you. You obviously have more than three soulmates this life journey. I'm trying to see if I can make you see that. You obviously have more than three this life journey, but there's going to be three very strong ones, and you guys shared your life journey in the lifetime that is coming through before. All right, and now for the heart chakra, we have a 2. So this tells me, Cancer, that you are going to really, really love two people this life journey. Two people are going to absolutely capture your heart romantically. That doesn't mean that you won't have multiple romances or love for multiple people in a romantic sense, but there's going to be two very special and significant loves this lifetime, and they were part of your last life journey. And now here, let's see. Ooh, we've got, is that 5? Yes, you've got 5 soul lessons coming through that you are working on this life journey. So you are a busy person, Cancer. Oh, sorry about that. Trying to just balance them. Okay, there we go. Let's get right into your reading. Okay, so you guys are coming through as a solar portal, being centered, balancing power, manipulation. What this tells me about you, Cancer, who you were last lifetime, many of you were embodied in the masculine form, this being the solar plexus, but also you were a very strong energy last lifetime. You may have been in like law enforcement or in a very high position of power. There was some of you were in a position of authority. Some of you were the head of a family, of a group, of a tribe, all right? You were just a person who was in a position of great power last life journey, and the way that played out is different for all of you, obviously, since this is a general. But wow, you were a strong individual, Cancer. Let's pull some more cards and see what this is all about. Okay, so we have disease coming through, and this is just letting you know the way that you transitioned last lifetime. There was an illness that you contracted, and just depending on what point in our history this was, there's different plagues that hit different parts of the world. So your last life journey, there was some sort of illness that took you out, so to speak. And so this life journey, you might have some phobias around like germs. You might be a total germaphobe, or somebody who always goes to the doctor at the slightest thing, and it's because there may be a bit of fear-based energy left within you from this last lifetime, because I don't feel like you are the only one that suffered this. It feels more like some sort of pandemic that took over many people at that time. And so you may have some phobias or residual fear-based energies around different illnesses. And if there's like one particular illness that just really seems to trigger you when it's happening in others, this life journey, that's a strong indication of something that your soul has personally experienced and felt a bit of trauma from it. All right, next is indigenous tribal. Very, very nice. This here, Cancer, because this is general, I'm going to open this up to all the indigenous peoples and tribes that were spread across the globe, before things happened and changed in this world. And you are definitely you have a tie to that. And this, I feel, is an actual incarnation, which would make a lot of sense with this card, illness coming in and taking out a lot of people, and then indigenous tribe right here, you being at the head of something, being very strong, being in a position of power and authority. So many of you do have like Native American, this could have been like a Native American, or in South America, or in Mexico. There's all sorts of places across the globe where there, were tribes, and you were definitely a part of one of them, Cancer. And last out is laborer. So this tells me that you worked very, very hard. Even being in a position of power and authority, it's not like you sat on this throne and just directed people what to do. You were right there in the trenches with them. You were absolutely ahead of like a lot of people. A lot of people looked up to you, and I really do feel that you were in the divine masculine form. I mean, right there, and then this is masculine, and then what's depicted here is masculine. So I do feel that you guys took on the masculine form. You were a very strong individual. You were connected with the land. You carry the mysteries of life within you, the like stories and traditions of the tribe in which you come from. All right, so if there's a specific tribe that you have been drawn into, you're very interested in this lifetime, or you were literally born into a tribe, there you go. That's part of your soul's lineage for multiple lifetimes. I don't feel like this is just like a one-stop shop. This is multiple lifetimes you incarnated through this particular energy, this bloodline, to learn and to grow and to expand. And the last time you were in this form, there was some sort of plague that really took out a lot of different people. And so again, you may have some phobias this lifetime, but you were a very hard worker. You built a lot of things with your own hands, your own sweat, your own labor. You were right there, even with people that may have been like they looked up to you, they answered to you. It didn't matter. You saw yourself as just normal, one of them, and you weren't afraid to do any job that needed to be done for the highest good of all. You were very loved and praised and looked up to. And when you passed, it was very devastating to all the people who were around you, because you were like the rock, the center, the thing that held a lot together. And this life journey, you may find that you are the rock, you are the center, you are the thing that holds it all together, whether you are in the feminine or masculine form. This life journey, that energy is still very much with you. And again, it doesn't matter what position you are in, what job you hold, you are somebody who is willing to put in the energy and effort where it's needed for the sake of the all, for the highest good. And there's a very spiritual, deep aspect of you. So let's pull some more cards. Okay, so we have knighthood, phobias, and leaving or travel. Okay, so here's the phobias. Because of like the trauma of past lifetime, it definitely comes through in this lifetime, and you can do some Reiki healing, some meditation healing to help balance those traumatic fear-based energies within you. So with knighthood and leaving and traveling, you were also somebody who knew how to defend yourself and defend others. I'm telling you, you were a masculine in this last lifetime, and you did defend and protect your tribe, and you traveled and relocated them at different points along this life journey, and that's probably why I feel that you were right in the trenches with them. And so this could be where something came and really upset where you originally dwelled, and you guys had to, you know, move and travel frequently at some point. And through that, you know, there was a sickness that came along, and it really took out a lot of members of this tribe. And you were a fighter, you were a protector of many people. Again, you sat in a big position of power. So let's pull some tarot. And you know what, for some of you, where this is more of a Native American thing, with the knighthood and the disease, you know, this could be when the Europeans came over into the United States, and they brought with them sickness and plague that, you know, took out a lot of the Native American people. And so some of you, that absolutely is the time frame in which this is speaking. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands and the Six of Swords. So again, this is talking about you being in a position of power, you protecting, you leading, and a lot of travel going on by horse or by boat, it looks like. And now we have the Chariot, and we have the Seven of Wands. So you were very victorious, very successful in your leadership this lifetime until this point right here. There again, we have a lot of emphasis on movement and travel. So you relocated multiple times throughout this life journey. Next, we have the Page of Swords with the Eight of Wands. And so, you know, with the Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands, this to me is you being very connected in to the higher realms, the ancestors, you know, other spirits who led you and directed you. You had to, you know, direct access. And so you could have also been an oracle of sorts, where certain people came to you to seek advice, to seek spiritual guidance and counsel, because you were wise, you held all the secrets, you knew the mysteries within, and you were connected in with the higher realms. And so this movement and travel was like divine intervention, giving you forewarning of certain things that, you know, were going to happen, were going to take place. And there was a lot of different movement going on this life journey. All right, so let's pull some cards to look at the soul aspect of all of this. Spiritual companion. So you had a very special, significant love this life journey for sure, and this person stood by you all the way till the end. And now we have the spirit medium. I'm not surprised to see that. This is just a confirmation that you had direct access to the higher realms, and the spirits spoke with you and led you and directed you. And lastly, we have activation. So everything that you experienced in this lifetime activated you in multiple ways and prepared you for this life journey. And it's like all this wisdom and knowledge is meant to come into this life journey with you, but even grow and expand further. So you are somebody who is an empath, you're sensitive, you are connected to the spiritual realm, you receive a lot of messages for yourself and for others. And if that's kind of foreign to you, or you don't feel like you're super connected in, start working on it, because I see that you are. All right, so let's get into this karmic energy and see what that's all about, because there's 3 karmic debts that must be paid this life journey. All right, so we have the feminine of flames, awakened, elevated yin, the journey, aspirations, pursuit, travel, and illumination, restoration, revelations, visions. Okay, so because I really feel that you were a masculine in this life journey, and what are these karmic debts? We have the feminine of flames, awakened, elevated yin. I do feel that there were some injustices in which your twin flame, your feminine, was very impacted in a negative sense. And this could be, you know, where you were in a position of power, so you kind of did what you wanted to do and you wanted to do it. But one of the karmic debts that must be paid this life journey has to do with your twin flame, your soulmate, your one, your spiritual companion of this lifetime. And you know, this coming out instead of twin flame, soulmate, you know, husband, wife, showing a spiritual companion, again, really goes back to that Indian energy, you know, where connection is seen in a much different way, more as a spiritual companion, opposed to like husband or wife, which is, you know, very common today. And here, with journey, pursuit, travels, this being a karmic debt that you have to pay, you may have gotten ahead of yourself at times with your ambitions, your drive, your desire, and you may have pushed others around you a bit too far, and you know, that caused some discomfort and some great unhappiness in their particular journey. And then over here, this Cancer says that you were in full awareness spiritually, but you went against the light and you made a choice in darkness, which must be rectified this life journey. And you know, with that, this is most likely where you did something for the greater good of the all, but there was some sort of, you know, dark energy attached to that in what you had to do. And so now this life journey, it must be balanced, it must be paid. So let's pull some more cards. And you know, if you were in battle, that would make a lot of sense. It's, you know, doing certain things that you normally wouldn't do, but you have to do for the protection and preservation, you know. All right, two of activations. Yeah, there was a bit of tomfoolery that happened in your twin flame union, your connection with this love of yours that has to be rectified this life journey. Universal reflection. Yeah, you were just very ambitious and you had a lot of dreams and goals, and you may have just pushed people a bit too far, further than they were capable of. But since you were full of so much life and energy, you had maybe little sympathy for those who couldn't keep up with you. And lastly, yeah, the lessons healer. There were choices that you made for the, you know, what you believed was the higher good, but the negative fallout and impact of that, there was some of that. And so this lifetime, there's a balancing of that, a deep healing energy that you're working with to, you know, balance this karmic debt right here. So those are the karmic debts. I would say, you know, let's see, if I know one is definitely going to happen within your, you know, soulmate twin flame union this lifetime. There's some karma to balance there. So we'll see if these come through other relationships or different experiences and circumstances that play out in your life journey. All right, so intuition, dreams, insight, signs, and masculine flame, enlightened, evolved yin. Okay, so a lot is going to be balanced out between you and your twin flame. I mean, you've got the twin flames right here. They both showed up. So there's a lot of this karmic debt that will be balanced within the relationship. And this is where the both of you agreed before this life journey that you would help each other balance out your karmic debts, and that would take place within your connection in your relationship. And once you have achieved that, you guys will really expand and evolve into a whole new world of connection. So a lot of the karmic energy that must be settled is going to play out between you and your twin flame. And then this right here, showing as the moon, intuition, this is spirit being a bit mysterious and saying, you know, this has more to do with different experiences and circumstances, and you'll know which ones they are based on your instincts, your insights, your intuition surrounding a certain situation. All right, so those are the karmic energies. Let's look at the, you know, soulmates coming through, and I believe, was that 3 or 5? That's 3. So you have 3 strong soulmates. And soulmates are like friends, family. It could be romance, but I feel that your romance is going to come in under the heart energy here, because we do know that you're part of a twin flame journey. But also, I know there's going to be another person that you care for very strongly. And in fact, you know, this life journey, it may be that you have one person, you know, your true twin flame, and then at some other point you come into a relationship and you align with somebody, and the love and the connection feels so strong, you feel as though, is this my twin flame? So there could be confusion between two people because the connection is so equally profound and strong. But let's first look at these 3 soulmates that are coming in. And you know, soulmates are people that love us and support us, or sometimes there's some life lessons attached to them. But soulmates typically, you know, no matter what, you guys will always find a way to work it out and to move beyond your differences. So let's take a look. All right, so messenger of emotions, messages from the heart. Some of you, one of these soulmates may be your child. Next is 10 of Roses, and this is definitely a family member or like a lifelong friend. And lastly, we have consciousness, and this right here is a soulmate that you're actually going to have some life lessons that you work through with them. And you work through life lessons with all of them, but this is going to be a very strong relationship of that specifically. So what I feel is with this soulmate, this is either your child or somebody you meet very, very young in life, and this connection is love, it's supportive, it's unconditional love, you know, coming through like that. Here again, this is another like lifelong type of connection, friend or family coming through, and this is a connection you can always count on. It's very strong, it has a solid foundation, and you could trust the advice, the wisdom, the comfort, the love that comes from this person. And then lastly down there, this is somebody that you're going to learn a lot of life lessons with, and that could be friend or family member as well. So, and remember, these people here were with you in this last life journey. And I'll tell you that after we finish this. All right, so paradigm shift. What I feel is you and this beautiful energy, this could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, many lifetimes. You guys have been through many lifetimes and different challenges with each other. So this life journey, it's meant for just like a solid, unconditional love. Right here, we have the passage. This connection, again, just another confirmation of you guys created this beautiful rapport and synergy of energy through many lifetimes prior to this one. So very positive, loving connection. Also very spiritually based, this one. Over here, we have the 10 of intuition. So yeah, absolutely. This is a soulmate that you learn a lot of life lessons with and have major activations because of that, coming through as the 10 of intuition. So those are, you know, 3 really strong soulmates for you this life journey. Very strong ties. You guys go way, way back, okay? And so this person who teaches you, because you guys are so familiar at the soul, you both really trigger each other. There's going to be a lot of friction and butting of heads, but you both force each other into new perspection, into new growth, and also activation to some of your spiritual gifts and your intuition. And you and this person could maybe even have like a telepathic connection. You just really are tapped in and tuned into their energy, and vice versa. I really do believe this is a family member, like a grandparent or a mother or a father, aunt or uncle, somebody older than you. It could be a friend, but it would be like lifelong. It just feels stronger as like, you know, somebody older than you. And then this, again, is somebody that you meet in childhood, or this is your own child. And these are your 3 strongest soulmates from last lifetime. So these 3 are intended to be with you this entire life journey, since they're the 3 that have come through. All right. So I was normally looking at the heart connections after, you know, I looked at the soulmates, but because I saw such this powerful, profound twin flame energy, we're going to look at the soul lessons you're working on this lifetime, and then we will do the heart connections very last. And you've got I believe that was 6, right? No, 5. You got 5 really strong soul lessons you're working on this lifetime. So let's look at those. And I'm going to actually pull a card from this deck too, so we'll shuffle those in. All right, so we have the 3 of activations, intuition spirit guide, 10 of intuition, the light worker, and spiritual lessons. Wow, Cancer, look at that lineup. You have major arcana, major arcana, major arcana, a 10, and then what would be considered a court card. So this life journey is very significant for spiritual activation, awakening, and remembrance of this particular life. So you are absolutely a light worker. There is your confirmation of that, Cancer. And part of your soul lesson this lifetime is awakening to that, and then doing spiritual mission for spirits, you know, spreading wisdom, healing, helping people along, help anchor in the new light codes of the Aquarian age. Also, with the 3 of activations and the 10 of intuition, your spiritual abilities and gifts are meant to really grow and evolve through this life journey. And with 5 of spiritual lessons down here at the end, I do know that there are going to be some experiences through this life journey that are very painful, very challenging for you, but it's to really push you, stretch you, and grow you and activate you, because you're this beautiful master soul. And so for further activation, evolution, and growth, you need a lot of intense energy to push against, to break through, so that you can expand. So I do know there are going to be some experiences that really feel heavy, but you have the capacity to break through anything. And through each one of those challenges, you have a major awakening and activation take place. You have an intuition spirit guide coming through. And this lets me know that you have one spirit guide that is going to be with you from birth to the time that you transition this life journey, to ensure all life lessons and all karmic debts, all spiritual lessons that you intended for at a soul level this lifetime, are achieved. And again, here is that full awakening and remembering of this life journey and all that wisdom coming forth for you to help others in this life. And with the 10 of intuition, you truly could expand into a master psychic, a master medium, a master empath. All right, with the 10 of intuition, it's like there's no greater point in this particular life on the earth plane with the energies that are available beyond this. Like, this is coming into full mastery of your spiritual abilities, talents, and gifts this lifetime. Why? Because you are a light worker. Okay, and so that tells me that with these life lessons, you're going to definitely go through some dark night of the soul, and certain things are just really going to crack you open, and that's for the light to come in for these beautiful expansions and rapid moments of growth for you. You are so spiritual, Cancer. You are part of a twin flame journey. You are a light worker. You have a spiritual mission this life journey. Let's pull some more cards. Want to make sure I get them all very nice and shuffled, Cancer, to give you a very nice and proper read. You know the word that just came to me? Spiritual warrior. That's who you were last lifetime. That's who you are this lifetime. You are the protector of many. Okay, so look at that. Intuition and third eye. That's coming out under the 3 of activation. So you are meant to be quite psychic this life journey. And now we have activation under a spirit guide here. So you do have a spirit guide that will make sure everything that must unfold this life journey happens and takes place. There's a lot riding on this lifetime for you. Self-discovery under the 10 of intuition. So there comes this point along this life journey where you truly awaken to your divinity and your past lifetimes, and you know who and what you are and what this whole life journey is about, and you just transform. Oh, it's gorgeous. Under the light worker, we've got legends and myths. So this is prompting you to really look into legends and myths, different philosophies. Look into Lemuria, look into Mu, look into Atlantis, look into Greek philosophy. Look into information around angels, just whatever you can think of. This will really help expand you and awaken you to what you already know at the soul. This isn't so much for you to learn new things this lifetime. It's more about activation and awakening for you. And lastly, we have quantum physics and the Mandela effect, and that's coming out under spiritual lessons, Cancer. That is some deep stuff right there. You are a being of something else. I will tell you that. You need to really educate yourself about quantum physics as well as the Mandela effect. This is attached to your spiritual lessons, and you had 5 spiritual lessons show up on that dice. And look at this is card number 5, spiritual lessons. I love the synchronicity of that. That tells me, yes, Cancer, you've got to really dive in, delve into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, astrophysics, all of it. And you could say, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? There are so many videos on YouTube that will really help educate you, expand you. Even if you have some idea of these things here, it's time to really go deep, go down that rabbit hole. It's part of your spiritual lessons, your awakening for this life journey. So you are a light worker. You have a spiritual mission this lifetime. You are very spiritually gifted and talented. Many of you will ultimately transition into having a spiritually based business or some sort of creative talent that becomes like your work, this life work. All right, so those are your soul lessons for this life journey. Now let's look at these 2 loves that come through this life journey. One of them definitely being your twin flame, your soulmate, and the other one is a very, very strong connection, love connection that you have. 2 great loves of this life. All right, so let's take a look at both of them. All right, Two of Emotions, chemistry, connection, romance. Ace of Roses, gift, opportunity, pleasant surprise. And feminine flames, awakened, elevated yin. So here is our twin flame. And now we have divine masculine of emotions, awakened, romantic, sensitive. Oh wow, you know what, I'm not surprised to see this because you got two, masculine flame, enlightened, evolved, yang. And lastly, divine masculine of roses, devoted, patriarch, successful. Okay, Cancer, this is, I've never, ever, ever seen this in a reading, so I'm kind of excited to delve into this energy. But Cancer, you have two great loves this lifetime. And, you know, because the twin flame came out here, I was like, okay, here, but it came out here as well. So I cannot tell you which one of these is your true twin flame. I can't. This is like maybe you have two great loves this lifetime. One is your twin flame for sure. We've seen it this in this past life journey. But these connections, these loves, both are so great and run so deep within you that you could never decipher which one was which. They don't happen at the same time, obviously. But you do have two great loves this life journey, two beautiful romances. It's not to say that these aren't going to be without their problems, but you do have two great loves this lifetime. Over here, you know, this there's really no energy for signs, but over here we have oh my gosh, and look at this. We have masculine, 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 all masculines coming through on the side. So we have water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And you know, for some of you, and some people get upset and offended, and I really hope you don't, but there is this message for some of you out there, Cancer, that I am picking up on, where maybe at some point in your life you are attracted or dating one particular sex, and maybe that's just not really who you are, but that's what's societally acceptable, and that you're like with one gender, and then there comes this big turning point through your activation where you become very true to yourself, and you you know, start dating the same gender, because we do have two masculines here. So it's like a great love of a feminine and a great love of a masculine for some of you, and that is a message for very specific Cancers. You will know who you are, and that's your confirmation. All right, and where you awaken and where you transition into, that's the path in which you need to walk. That's your journey. Okay, and now for the rest of you, what I feel about this is that, again, you have these two great loves throughout this life journey. They're both equally strong in all ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You could never decipher. Oh my goodness, I've never seen this in a reading. Usually I can decipher which one is, like, you know, the karmic opposed to the twin flame, but I don't even feel like this is a karmic and between a karmic and a twin flame. It's like a twin flame and a really strong, beautiful soulmate that you've experienced romance with and many lifetimes before. All right, completion and Five of Roses. That did not give me anything really. Okay, so let me pull some more cards. That just does not make sense to me. This is a confusing connection of energies. I can only imagine how you guys must feel, that where you're like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, what you're picking up on here. All right, so we have the Six of Manifestations and the Two of Manifestations. All right, that helps a great deal. This right here is the twin flame. This right here is a very strong soulmate, okay? And you just, I don't know like what separates, like why one of these relationships ends and you move into the other. And this is not the reading to really look into that. We're just looking at the two people that are in your heart space this lifetime. And you absolutely have two great loves. They are both very special, very precious. This here coming through as the Ace of Roses. This is the one you marry. And the one you marry, Cancer, that's how you know that that's the one. That is the twin flame, the one that you marry. All right? Absolutely, for sure. And the other relationship looks like it kind of just fizzles out and fades away at some point along the journey. So those are your messages, Cancer. I am sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.